Are we recording?
Yep, I clap.
I wasn't recording.
Oh.
Clap again? Okay. What are we eating there, Nana?
Cigarette.
They don't taste as good as they used to.
I don't know.
I feel like they taste the same, yeah. They used to have like a vanilla flavor to it. And the one starts...
I don't think I would like that.
It was very light, but it was like vanilla. It's not just sugar tasting. There was like a... Well, I don't know.
No.
Fine. What did they taste like to you? They taste the same.
They taste like what chalk looks like. They don't taste like chalk. Because I have tasted chalk. They don't.
Why
taste like...
have you tasted
Because
chalk?
I had it on my hand or something in
yeah.
it. Because I like to eat it.
Yeah, I know you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Chalk doesn't taste good. I tried it.
No, it doesn't taste good. I wouldn't eat 14 packs of chalk.
There's him by edible chalk.
Why?
She gets these ideas. I don't know. I suppose it's better than her eating her hair or whatever current thing she's eating and putting in her mouth. And I know she's 12, but whatever.
Does it taste like chalk?
It does taste like you would think chalk tastes. It's an edible form of chalk, and some people like it. It was dry and bland and like chalky medicine would be, but dry.
Doesn't sound good.
Well, now I want a cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have them here? Really?
I do have them.
Okay, so...
Do you want a cigarette, too?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Listen, my toxic trait is that I think I could give myself a full makeover that I watched on TikTok in 30 minutes and still get here on time.
Yeah.
So I walk in all rushed. I'm 15 minutes late. Halfway through the tutorial, I'm like, this side doesn't look like this side. This side. And then I go to clean it up and then all of it's gone. So then I go to this side and it's like, fuck. It's a mess.
Well, you
and
look
I'm just
lovely.
like, I don't care. I'm not doing this. And then by the time it's all said and done, I'm like, I'm just going to do what I normally do.
Well, was that what you did? Okay, I would say because I don't know a sign difference in the last time
Exactly.
either.
Exactly.
All right. So today's episode is about the timeline of our lives and our expectations of what the timeline should be or what we had thought maybe for ourselves. Is it for ourselves or just people in general?
I think it's
like what
there's
society
a general
thinks.
conception of what people should hit. Like by the time you're in your
Certain
mid-20s, you should be
milestones.
married and getting ready to start a family. And it seems to be the general consensus of
And so go over that.
the
What do you
world.
think the general consensus is? Go to high school, go through high school,
go to college,
go to college.
get a degree, start your job, find a mate, get married, have children. That seems to be.
And then what?
And then you raise your children, and then you get old, and hopefully
die.
your children take care of you. Yes, and then
die.
eventually
And then you
death.
die.
Death is the end goal of the whole process.
And so,
And to be successful.
and what's the success? What's success look like for you? For people
I
in
think-
general.
I think it depends, maybe perhaps on your generation, what successful is.
That's true. That's true.
I think older generations is that you have a good job and you have, you're financially stable. But I think the other younger generations, that's different.
What do you think their success measure is?
I think it depends on the generation. But
Yes, but we're talking. What? You
well,
just
I'm
said
saying for people, in a younger generation,
Yes.
their idea of success is not maybe the same as our idea of success.
I get that. So
Like for me, I wanted something stable. So to go do freelance was always something scary because you don't know where your next job is coming from. And a lot of the younger people,
That's their norm.
that's how they
but
roll.
that's my question. So what do you think the younger people's measure of success is? And then your answer was depends on the generation.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
I don't know.
Yes, I feel like I'm on the trial here.
You are. Yes. I'm interrogating you. I
Were
truly
you
don't
not
know.
I think it's
prepared, Tara? Do you not have all the answers?
I fly by the seat of my pants here. I
So
think that
in-
there are more. I think the younger generation is more interested in the happiness of their work-life balance.
Yes.
And their loyalty to a place for security and is not the same. If I can get somewhere else better, I'm out. And then if something's better, I'm out. And they'll just go, go, go. And that's, for me, that's not my mindset.
For those listeners and watchers out there, here soon, in coming episodes, we're going to have like a generational talk.
Yeah.
And we're going to have guest stars and stuff like that.
Oh, guest stars.
Guest stars from different
They
generations.
start in our lives.
Yes.
but whatever.
That's right. Exactly. So, but in general, I think what you're saying is that
Yeah.
as long as they're happy, which then brings me to what that bitch Asher said. He
says a lot of things. I don't
He
know.
does say a lot of things. But remember when he interrogated both of us because were saying that we didn't want to work that day.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, there are days you just don't feel like doing the things that you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I hate my job because I don't.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that I have a horrible boss. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It just means in that moment, I wasn't feeling it that day, which happens all the time. Well, he insisted that I hated my job.
Well, if you had a job you liked,
then you wouldn't.
That's what he said.
Yeah. He's like
someone who's never worked a job ever.
He's like, I don't understand why you would have a job that you don't love. He expects people to love their job.
I think he's in for a rude awakening.
That's what I tried to explain to him. I tried to explain to him all that. And granted, I understand there should be jobs that you are happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Like in overarching, I'm happy with my job. Mm-hmm. I'm happy with my place in my job.
Yeah. My
progression in my job. But there are days where I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah.
But would I say I'm in love with my job? No.
Yeah.
But he insisted you should be in love with your job.
I mean, if you can figure that out,
great.
Yes.
Right.
But I don't have a regular job.
Corporate world.
It's not a corporate world.
But you do have a regular job. She
has
been working for the same company for 27 years.
Yes, I don't mean that I don't work regularly, but it's not your typical, when you think of a job, that's not your typical job. And
for those newcomers, she's an audio engineer.
Yes. So there's a creative part of that's why I like it. But after a while, that part of, I really like this, it becomes a job. You know what I mean? So you have something, I think it's maybe like musicians. They love to be a musician, but after they're on the road for 4 months, they're tired and they want a break. And even though they still love being a musician, now they are in a job. It's not in. So even if you love a job, I think at some point it comes from, I love this thing to now this is part of my job. And it takes away from that, which is sometimes why I don't want to take the photography I don't want to take something that I take as a hobby and then turn it into, I have to do this, I have to do that. Because then it's not the same as when you get to do that.
Everybody always pushes that, right? Find the thing you love to do and make that your job.
Yeah.
But even if you do that, there are still aspects of something that you love. And then when you make it into your job, that there's going to be aspects that you don't want to do, right? You might love photography, but you're not going to love the invoicing or the setting up or the dealing with the customers or whatever that is. There's always going to be pieces of that you're not going to like, that you could still enjoy maybe the creative process, whatever that is for you.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. But to expect it, you're going to love every aspect of what you do, I think is unrealistic.
And so, Susanna, do you agree that...
My turn for the interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
So do you agree of the timeline that Tara kind of set out?
To be honest, I didn't know where my life was going. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I didn't have goals but I didn't. There was just these assumptions that some things would happen at some particular point in my life, but not anything. I wasn't raised that way, right? I wasn't raised with, okay, you got to go to school, you got to do this, you got to X, Y, and Z. Let's work on, you got to be my parents were not goal-driven people, right? So that's not something they passed on to me.
So that was never put upon me either by my family.
Right.
But
that was going to be my question.
At some point, it was in my mind. All those things were in my mind. So they must have come from either
society,
just TV or what you see. So yes, so it wasn't like anyone was pushing me to do those things. But by the time I hit 25, I didn't have a career. I was working at the airport, but it wasn't a career. And I thought I'm supposed to be in my career by now. I'm supposed to be getting ready to buy a house. And I felt like I was behind because it just seemed like that's what I was supposed to be doing, I guess, from society and from what I've seen. Because it wasn't anyone in my home that was pushing that on me.
And so why didn't you do those things?
What things?
Get a career, go to school.
I didn't know what I wanted
house.
to do for a career. I mean, I wanted to be a rock star. But I don't play an instrument and I can't sing. So that's kind of, nowadays, who knows? But I didn't know. I knew that the regular job was not for me, but I didn't know what other options I had.
And so what were you thinking at the time? You were just going to muddle?
I was
you were
thinking,
just gonna have-
I was just thinking, well, I'm a little, oh shit, I'm just behind, I guess. Or maybe I'm just going to be one of those people who doesn't have a career job. You just have a job.
Yeah, something
You know,
that pays
it's
the
not
bills.
like I'm picking this as my career. It's just like I'm going to find a job that I can make money at and tolerate.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you guys think is it changing? Is society's view of what your timeline should be changing? Or
I think it is for certain people, yes. But I still have that. I think it's part of it that's in you. It's when you grow up thinking that way, it's in you and you have to change your way of thinking.
Yes.
I do, but I don't. Like I'll see someone and I'll say, really? That's what you're doing right now? But then I think, well, you know what? They're supporting themselves. They're happy. What do I care?
mm-hmm.
So I have to remind myself that the way that I'm thinking is an old way of thinking.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
get frustrated with people that are frustrated with their lot in life or wherever they're at, and they choose not to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're choosing to do things about it and it still just doesn't go their way, okay, I don't look down. I think it's the lack of ambition or lack of direction that I get frustrated with, not what they're doing. I don't care what, if you have a plan, then you have a plan.
But sometimes you don't, like I was,
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan. I did not know where
Yes,
I was going.
But your plan was just to, like you said a moment ago, maybe I'm just the type of person that's just going to have a job, pay
Yeah.
my bills, and move. Okay, then that's your plan. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to have.
Well, it's not like I planned it. It just is what was happening.
Yes.
I didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you said just a moment ago that this is maybe I thought I was behind and maybe this is just where I was going to be.
Yeah.
It's not like you gave up and said, I'm going to quit working and I'm going to live off of so and so and I'm not going to do anything. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
You moved through life and took care of business, I guess.
Yes.
If you don't know what you want to do, it's really hard to commit to something. But I think that if you're, to your point, if you're going through life and you're supporting yourself and maybe you don't know, you don't want to go to a 4-year college, you don't want to do whatever, then that's, I think, fine if you don't know. Some
Yeah.
people just don't. And there's a lot of pressure for you to know,
Mm-hmm.
especially some of these younger generations, right? Not me. My parents weren't, oh, hell, we couldn't afford it. You know, I was not involved in extracurricular activities very much, unless they were like pretty cheap. How many kids are out there that they're on the go 24/7?
Mm-hmm.
I got a scholarship to play soccer at college.
Mm-hmm.
Your life is so structured, you don't have time to explore. It's just you take for granted that this is who I am and this is where I'm going to be. And then you end up unhappy later because this was like all set up for me.
Yeah.
The parents force all of that structure on
Yeah.
on the kid.
Yeah.
And then, they're pigeonholed to a certain path, which is unfortunate.
Yes.
But at the same time, again, you don't have to know what the plan is, but don't just sit there and do nothing, I guess. That's where it
Okay.
hits home for
That's
me.
a
Just don't
different-
sit there and just do nothing. Like, try to figure it out and take care of yourself while you're figuring it out.
Yeah.
So now, do you think kids, spouses, and career, like what order? So when I was young, my plan or what I thought was going to happen was I was going to eventually go to college young. This is young before I decided not to go, but get married, get a job, then have children,
Okay.
which is not what happened.
No.
But that's what I thought that the progression was. Now, being the age that I am, I think that you should, if you're going to go to school, get a job, get in your career, then get married, then have children. If that's what you want to do, you might not want to have children, whatever, float your boat. And then you live your life that way.
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts on progression and has the timeline changed for you all?
I think it's changed. I mean, like, for example, college wasn't even a thing.
But
That
that's-
never
so-
entered my mind because there are no college educated people in my house.
I understand that. So neither me either.
Yes, but that still wasn't, I don't know why, but that was not even a thought in my head until I met my first husband. So he was very pro-education. I think that influenced me somewhat. But prior to that wasn't honestly, I was wandering around aimlessly. I'm going to tell you the truth. Like I said, it was just, these were back thoughts that like, yeah, I guess I'll probably get married. I'll probably have kids. There was a lot of probablys. Yeah, I worked. I paid for my shit. I was moving forward. Where that ended up, I had no plan. And then it just
like,
kind
when
of
you
happened.
talk to your friends, you guys never talked about anything and what they thought.
No.
No, because also this was in Mexico, so a lot of things are assumed when everybody worked.
Right.
You know, my mom worked, my dad worked, everybody just worked. So I just assume
You
that's
work.
life. We're just going to work. There was no, I guess there's some education. And I was going to school and I was getting my education. But even if, especially like I think in Mexico, it wasn't like you're not necessarily sold on the whole college education because not everybody could go, so not everybody can afford it.
Right.
So it's not the end goal.
And so back to my original question, which is,
I don't even know.
Now what do you think is a timeline? Do you even think that there is? Obviously, you did not take a traditional trajectory,
I did not.
but now that you're the age that you are, the family that you have, the career that you've had.
I think the trajectory is that you should, maybe it's not college. And I know like we were talking over dinner last night, I know some schools also offer a lot more trade options nowadays so that you can go into those things and can work because it's not for everybody. Not everybody can afford it. That's just not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
We don't live in that society.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that you should explore those things. You should get a job. I liked having a kid older. I could see both sides, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have a kid young, you're done young.
Yes.
And then you're
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
in your 40s.
And you have a little bit more energy to do.
And yes, to do
Yes.
things.
Yeah.
But having had one at mature, I was more mature. I was financially stable. I didn't, so there's the flip side of that. So
Yeah.
I think that people should wait until their 20s to have kids, obviously, because I think you're mentally more mature to actually evaluate that decision and see if that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's changed, especially with social media, especially with those aren't the goals for people. Some people want to travel. Some people want a work-life balance, and it's just work is just work. It's more of a European.
Yeah.
It seems we're catching up to them maybe in that perspective to say like, hey, this job fuels my passions or my life, and I want to spend my life with my family. And I think a lot of people through COVID discovered, hey, there could be a better work-life balance instead of this whole 80 hours a week. And let me tell you, I worked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to stop comparing. And I think we do that because I think it's just human nature, and especially with social media.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, this is the expectation. And these people are living their life and they can do it X, Y, and Z. And I need to get there. And I think we end up with very unsatisfied individuals because you've set this expectation for yourself. And then what happens when you get there? I say, my goal is I want to be married. I want to have kids. Well, let's say that's your goal. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's no.
Right.
Then what happens? Because it seems like we're not always often satisfied, right? We're like, okay, well, I got
Well, they
here.
are
Now what?
in the
Now
beginning
what?
when the kids are
Yes.
little, but then when your kids grow up and they have a life of your own and they're like, yeah, see ya. Now it's just you.
Yeah. And some people, they have a hard time adjusting
Yeah, it's like,
to
what
that.
do I do with myself
Yeah.
now at this point? Yeah.
Because then they
they've
insert
engrossed-
themselves
right, and
a
they've
lot
been-
into their children's life too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your identity shouldn't be wrapped up in what you do. And if you go through a lot of like counseling stuff, like I had to, it's like, well, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do this. And no, that's your job. That's not who are you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Before you come to all these other decisions, because you end up wrapping all of your identity in your job. And I know it sounds trite, but like find yourself, like so that, because if you're good to yourself, then you're going to be good to everybody
Sometimes
else.
you don't I think that there's not time
Exactly.
because I need to get into this job. I need to do, so you're so focused on what you're supposed to be doing. It's like, well, why am I supposed to be doing this? Because this is what I want, or because this is what I think I'm supposed to do? And then you turn a certain age and you realize, well, I think there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but then you're kind of stuck because you have a family and you have a house and so now, I see all this other stuff now, but now I can't, you could maybe do it on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try to incorporate it into your existing life.
And it's much
So
more
you
difficult.
figure it out later on if you could just figure that out earlier, it could have really changed the whole course of the way you lived your life.
Yeah.
What do you think about people who take a gap year?
Well, that's what I was going to do. It was going to be 1 or 2 years. I wasn't going to go to college. We're just going to work for a couple of years and then figure this out and then go to college.
I guess I don't know what does a gap year really mean? Is it that you're just not going to college?
Well, it
Because
depends
if you
on the
have to
people.
take your gap year, but you're working to pay your rent, to pay your bills, you don't have time to explore, or you can't really afford to explore.
Well, I think a gap year is different because some people that have money or that are able to do that, they choose
travel
to travel for that time. But then I think
But
a
a lot of
gap year
people-
in general isn't
or not even
solely
just travel, but just try different things.
Yeah.
But if you are worrying about paying your rent, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I got a stable job now. I don't really want to jump to some other
Mhm.
job. So you can't really explore much.
Yeah.
You're just not going to college.
That's
So what are you really
It
doing in that
depends.
gap
I
year?
think the gap year is for people who can travel, right? And a lot of people just backpack and
yeah.
So it depends, but to your point, maybe you spend it interning. But again, internships don't pay.
Right.
And so, Tara, what about children? When do you think is a good time to have children?
I think maybe more in the early 30s as
Mhm.
opposed to the late 30s.
Mhm.
And it's hard to put an age on it because
Yeah.
everybody's different.
And there's
Not all
different levels of-
25-year-olds are
Yes,
the same.
that's
it's
true.
true.
So you have some who are very responsible and are very focused on starting their life, and you have others who are hanging out.
It does. It does really depend.
I would say that somewhere in your early 30s I would think would be probably the prime.
I think that's the other thing where we're at that crux of caregiving, right?
Yes.
Women don't want to be the primary caregiver. They want a more balanced
An equal.
approach. An
Mhm.
equal, yes. People will often say that it's selfish not to have children. I also think that people have children for selfish reasons.
I think it's selfish to have children if you're
Want
not
children.
committed to, like, okay,
or you're having them for the wrong reasons,
Yeah.
or just, well, I feel like I need to
I'm just supposed to.
reproduce my DNA,
Yeah.
or well, for whatever reasons you
Yeah.
do. There could be very selfish reasons why you have kids.
Mhm.
Just like if you want to claim that it's selfish, but if
I'm
you
lonely.
know,
I need someone to love me unconditionally. I'm going to have a kid.
and then you end up with these absentee parents.
Yeah.
Being a parent is not for the faint of heart. It's
No.
just not. It's
Yeah.
a commitment, and it's gonna make
Yeah.
you go through it
Mhm.
in all the ways.
But I think that just in general, we hopefully generations are teaching their children to not set those arbitrary or invisible expectations.
Visible goal lines.
Yeah, on all the things. And so at the end of the day, for Asher, I want him to try. I just don't want him to give up.
Mhm.
If he wants to be a plumber, if he wants to be a farmer, if he wants to do whatever, I just want him to try and just do it. I don't have any expectations. Oh, well, you have to be a lawyer. You have to be a doctor. I just want you to try and do something.
Is there anything that when you look back on, you're like, oh, I didn't get to experience that?
For me, the only thing would be living on a college campus.
Hmm. For me, it's living completely by myself. I've never lived alone.
Loser.
And for that to happen now, either you would have to be gone in
Yeah.
some manner, and then Asher would have to be with you for me to be completely
Alone.
dependent alone. I think about what would that person be like, and what would I do, and how would I go about my day, and how could that have changed
Your trajectory.
where I ended up?
Yeah.
I would have liked to have been afforded the opportunity to explore my options.
Hmm.
Because there were so many classes I took that I was good at and that I enjoyed and that I found interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, there were other things I could have been than what I ended up being.
Yeah.
Again, expectations was I need to finish it. I need to
Mhm.
move on with my life. I can't be in college for like the
Forever.
next 20 years.
All right, friends. Well, share with us your thoughts. Did your life turn out the way that you or society has set out for you? And let us know. Like, share, tell us all the things. Peace out.
Adios.
Bye-bye.